Hi everybody, welcome to our first digital math lesson at home, and today we're going to talk about comparing and ordering decimals. This is not hard, believe me. This is actually one of the easier things that we're going to do this year. So let's dig in, shall we? I'm going to go down here to the lower corner and we're going to go on to the next slide. So to the untrained eye, you might look at these numbers and you might say to yourself, that's a 4 and a 4, why they must be equal. And I'm going to tell you they're not. Why? Because place value. Decimals are tricky, right? So we have 4 and 4, but this is in fact 4 tenths. This is 4 hundredths. That's right. So what do we need to do? We need to add a 0. We need to make common place values. Just like in fractions, when we compare two fractions, you got to have common denominators. Well, when you compare two decimals, it helps to have common place values. So what am I going to do? I'm going to add a place value to 4 tenths. I'm going to add a 0. And I am going to make 4 tenths 40 hundredths. Have I changed the value of that number? No, I've not. It's still 4 tenths, but it's also 40 hundredths. Think about it in terms of money. I have 4 dimes, I have 40 pennies. It's the same thing. Well, over on this side we have 40, over on that side we have 4 pennies, 4 hundredths. So what's bigger, 40 or 4? That's right, Dora, 40 hundredths. See, I told you this wasn't difficult. So let's take a look at this one. Again, your first impulse is to say 13 is bigger than 2. But no, place values. Let's give a 0 to that 2 tenths and make it 20 hundredths. Now I'm comparing hundredths to hundredths. 13 hundredths, 20 hundredths. Who is bigger? 20. Okay, so now that we've learned the basics of how to compare two decimals, let's take a look at 4. And let's put these in order from greatest to least. Now, if you look quickly down the row, you quickly realize something, right? Every number has 2 decimals. 7 hundredths, 2 hundredths, 5 hundredths, 9 hundredths. No tricks, no nothing. Two digits per number. Let's put them in order. What's the biggest number? That's right, 9. And then 5, no, 7, and then the 5, and then the 2. 9, 7, 5, 2 hundredths. 9 hundredths, 7 hundredths, 5 hundredths, 2 hundredths. But what if I do this? Now I am getting tricky. Now again, we need to go back and remember to put in a 0 and give things the same number of digits in each number. So 7 tenths is going to become 70 hundredths. 5 tenths, 50 hundredths. So, which one's bigger? That's right, 70, followed by 50, followed by 9, followed by 2 hundredths. See, you got this. This isn't hard. But what if I do this? Okay, now we got to take a look at place value a little bit. We're going to look at the biggest place value, which of course is the ones place. And each number has a 1, in the ones place. Therefore, as far as the ones place is concerned, they're all equal. But are they equal numbers? No, they are not. Because after the ones place, we have the tens place and the hundreds place, to which we have different numbers in them. So we're going to ignore those ones places for just a second and take a look at the decimals. So again, I've got 7 tenths here and 5 tenths here. We need to add a 0. So 5 tenths becomes 50 hundredths. 7 tenths becomes 70 hundredths. So that's 1 in 70 hundredths, 1 in 2 hundredths, 1 in 50 hundredths, 1 in 9 hundredths. Which one is bigger? That's right, 1 in 70 hundredths, followed by 1 and 50 hundredths, followed by 1 and 9 hundredths, and finally 1 and 2 hundredths. So that's it. That's all there is to it. It's all about making common place values, giving each number the same number of digits after the decimal point. In your math journal, you have an activity today. Good luck finding the greatest, greater than, less than, or equal to, and fun. Any problems, you know where to find me.